I think 3 things to focus on, okay, is a little bit to discuss about, for your need, about ecosystem, what is this world, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is fundraising, okay? The third thing, which also relates to that, is, I would say, the academic value. What interests you? Why did you come today?
Because I share my projects with you, also get involved from you.
Come. What's your name?
Haluk.
Haluk? Okay. Haluk is here with us today because?
I'm get to involve myself about entrepreneurship value and share my project with you.
Okay.
That's my plan.
So first, share your project with us.
Okay. Right now?
Yeah. Let's take 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay. I got a project
Just
about
speak
okay.
loud.
I got a project about electric management, so this can consumption the energy for percent of 30 or 50 hundreds. So it's only cheap. You implement anywhere you like. So day by day, in a month, you get consumption at 30 of half of the energy consumption. So just you install one and you get earn and earn. Also you can get involve yourself, customer or product or any your grow your institute. That's only one install and also you got free to choose your future.
Thank you very much. Applause. So who actually understood what he's doing? You didn't. But who did? No one. Really? Guys, someone understood? Did you understand? Yes? Okay, come, please.
100%. Just preliminary, I understand.
Help me in pitching his idea. 30 seconds to explain what he does.
Maybe 10% I understand you about about the energy and involving some system maybe for the future, the kind of project. But
Good.
I don't know what is
That's
the
good.
mechanism, investing strategy, and what is the other details.
He's a
Just
good guy.
preliminary.
He's a
But
very kind guy.
I cannot say just 0%. I didn't
It's like, you know, when you travel abroad and you get into a store and you want to buy something, so you know what's radio, banana, which is kind of international, but you don't really understand the language. So he was very kind. No one really understood what you're doing, okay? This is one of the key problems. Because as an entrepreneur, the basic things, we say, you know, in life, what do we need in order to succeed? We need a lot of
Communication.
True, but you know, people, you tend to say, I don't have luck. True? I missed it because I was late and then he went, so I'm not lucky. Luck is kind of improvisation. And if you are not ready, you cannot improvisate. And if you cannot improvisate, but you have the courage, you know, as the Spanish said, you have the huevos. You came over here, you are not afraid to sit in the first row. And when I called you to pitch, you said, okay. Many people will say, no, maybe later I will talk you to. You came on the stage, but you have to be ready. Being ready is not to trust on, you know, other people's luck, but trust on you being ready. You don't know when the time and the opportunity will allow you to meet someone in the pitch elevator, as we call it, but you have to be ready, and you're not ready, okay? If no one here among 40 people can explain what you're doing, and don't forget, you need to explain what you're doing to make sure that my grandma, which is 90-something years old, will understand you, okay? If she won't be able to understand you, you're missing something, okay? As we say, when you prepare the material, those kind of PPT, more slides, less valuation, okay? The more material, the more wording you need to use in order to explain what you're doing, it means that it's less mature. It means that it's less relevant. Keep it simple. Now, I lost you. Okay, next time, pitch like she's doing now, taking a video live, like they're recording. You have to record yourself, each one of you. Now, it's not about a startup, it's also about a community. Who is leading a community here? Startup community. Come. This is learning by doing. I can talk for hours, but let's jump into reality, okay? Take the mic. Is it working?
No.
Okay, so just leave it. So just take 1 minute to explain about your startup community, what it does, what are the ingredients, and what actually we do in order to help entrepreneurs.
Hi, I'm Adil Oran from the Middle East Technical University Entrepreneurship Research Center. I'm the director. I help many people become part of the entrepreneurship ecosystem.
It's not working.
They're using it to record.
Ah, sorry.
And one, I help people understand what entrepreneurship is and try to see it as a career alternative. Two, even if you're not going to become an entrepreneur, I try to help you behave more entrepreneurially. Three, I go around and introduce many different departments, many different areas to what we as METU are doing in entrepreneurship. And then we mentor and we help develop and we do ecosystem building.
Wow, big run.
Done?
Done very well. Okay, so if we analyze it, finally, what was the call to action? What was your call to action?
To them, I don't think I gave them one.
That's a good idea. This is the only part that we actually were missing. You have to have a call to action. Doesn't really matter where you're going because you're coming here today. What?
10 seconds?
About the call to action? Yes. No, it's not relevant. The idea is just learning now. Okay, what's the call to action?
Okay, tomorrow at 5:40.
It's like a very aggressive call to action.
We have a Find Your Co-Founder event at METU. All of you are welcome. You can sign up from Find Your Co-Founder 6 at eventbrite.com.
Boom. Okay. So I'll start by something, okay? Let's do a little kind of, you do media, yeah? You're supposed to do. I don't know what's the results, but you're supposed to do. What's your name?
Gamze.
So let's call you G to make my life easy, okay? I'm not a politically correct guy, so you can give me one back. And let's take you, for example. What's your name?
Merve. Merve with M.
That's easy one. Okay, easy for me. So, how many Facebook, before we start, what is your rank?
What do you mean?
Choose number.
Like the page that I'm managing or?
Your personal rank. It sounds bad, I know, but what's your rank? Choose rank, helper. Give me a number.
10.
Okay, she's 10. That's it. Keep it simple. What's your number? Okay, how many Facebook friends?
1,300.
Facebook? 1,300. Okay, LinkedIn?
600.
Okay, Twitter?
400.
Okay, and how many contacts do you have on your mailing list?
More than 300.
Much more. Think about it for a minute. How many emails did you send with your mailbox that you're using in the last years? Different mails, different contacts.
Thousands.
Okay, so it's a big difference. Now choose a number there, more or less.
200.
We are
No,
talking.
no, you mean the contacts.
How many contacts?
600.
More.
No.
Let's put it on 2,000, okay? 2K. She's 10. Okay? Focus. Leave the signatures for now. Leave it. If she's 10 and she has 1,300, 600, 400, and 2,000, how many Facebook friends do you have? Okay, LinkedIn? Twitter? Okay. Contact list, how many people on your contact list? More than 3,000, good. So if now I ask you, compared to her, okay, because you are the algorithm manager, what is her rank compared to her? More or less, you know, we don't have to be that accurate. 8, okay. Why is it important? Because before you start your journey and you do different things in your life, what do you do?
I'm an engineer, but working for a foundation that have also some interfaces with the entrepreneurship.
Okay, good. So if I am working for a corporate, okay, and I'm leading kind of the corporate structure used to have corporate VC for many years, and now it's becoming more attractive to the early stage. So they are establishing kind of, early stage activities, some of them non-profit, some of them for-profit, and so on, some of them marketing, some of them social responsibility. But it's important to make sure that, first of all, before we go out to the market as an entrepreneurial leaders and people that wants to brand ourselves, if we are professors, if we are entrepreneurs, if we are investors, if we are, doesn't matter what, okay? We need to look at our personal rank before we go outside, because this is the first or the second thing I will do after I will finish or before I will meet you. I will go and I will check your rank. Some of the things are exposed, yeah, are public, and some of them are your own power. One of the things that most of the people are missing is their personal network. The personal network is mainly based on the mailing list. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, social media will convert much less than your personal contact emails when you need someone. This is known, okay? So you can use social media to promote yourself, but it's less converting than the contacts. So your personal contacts, which we all don't know, because no one really counts every day how many mail or people on the contact we have. I didn't know 2 years ago since I started checking. I thought I have maybe 2,000, 3,000, and I checked 2 years ago it was 11,000. Now it's 15,000. What do I do with those 15,000 people? I had my huge event 2 weeks ago at Tel Aviv. 7,000 people, 3 days, 30 events, the biggest early stage startup event in Israel. Very good startups and so on. My media manager, she said, we have to use your mailing list. I said, no, no more. Because the last year she sent a mail blast to all my contacts. I just spent 2 days by answering people. But among those 15,000 contacts, when I send them an email that I invite them to come to my event, tons of people were running, thank you for the personal invitation. I sent a personal invitation for 15,000 people. It was very personal for some of them. So they were looking to meet me at the event. I wasn't there, actually. I was in Serbia. But it was nice to see the impact. How many people arrived through my social media? None. But on the social media, they arrived, some of them. But on the social media, they actually learned who am I. So before you go out as entrepreneurs, investors, and so on, take a look at your rank. Take a look at your profile, your LinkedIn profile, your Facebook, your Insta, whatever. And check if it serves your interest. Now, there is a big now here. If you are focusing your entrepreneurs on the accelerator or in your program, what is the focus there? Fintech, cyber, general?
Technology-based innovation, not so much fintech, but more hard technology.
Like more hardware side, IoT?
Hardware,
okay.
Semi-IoT.
Okay. So if we say hardware, if I'm an entrepreneur and I would like to work under your roof, okay, I need to understand that you are an expert in your field, okay? It means that tomorrow maybe I will ask you for contact to Hacks or to Indiegogo or to people that are dealing with hardware, crowdfunding, bill of material in Shenzhen in China. I will ask you for a contact to Bring, some of the guys that you may know, Flextronics and so on. And I will also ask you for contacts to media guys there, TechCrunch, Wired, and so on, because you are supposed to be an expert in this field. If you build your own rank, it's not supposed to be general rank. It's supposed to be a rank that focuses on your own specific need, okay? If his field of interest is energy, okay, he needs to make sure today that he builds his rank according to energy. Is LinkedIn supposed to look like energy? The contacts are supposed to be people that are relevant to energy, okay? Bloggers, journalists, key figures. You need to activate them today, because tomorrow when you would like to raise money, when you would like to have pilots, when you would like to just contact them to get an advice, and as we say, you come to get advice, you get money. You come to get money, you get advice. So it's always good to have these people on your network, because once you'll need them, they are not going to approve you as a friend or answer your email. But if you build relationship with them, and then they understand that you know several people in their network that are top-level people, they say, okay, we don't know you, but he is a friend of a friend of a friend of people that are influencers, and his rank They see the rank. His rank is high, it's relevant to our field. I don't know you. I'll give you just an example from my life, okay? I have two main things that I'm doing in my life. On one side, I'm a football referee in the Israeli Premier League. Crazy, okay? We don't have Besiktas, Galatasaray, and Fenerbahce. We have smaller teams, less quality of football, but in Israel, you know, everyone likes football. On the other side, technology, investment, ventures, okay? Total two different crowds in Israel. The crazy guy, more popular, and more tech, smart, whatever, don't record me. And what happens is that if someone approach me, Facebook, LinkedIn, the first thing I do is I check the common friends and I check common interest. If he's coming from football, it's a big no, because the day after he will send me messages, nice messages on the Facebook or whatever. If he's coming from the high-tech investment world, I approve him. And this is the small change about I don't know the guy at all. And sometimes I was mistaken. People that I ignored them, they came and say, why didn't you approve my, because I thought you are a crazy fan of whatever, of Maccabi Tel Aviv or Poel Be'er Sheva or whatever. No, it's just a geek. I didn't notice. But you, bottom line, guys, have to build your rank today. If you are focusing on building entrepreneurship centers in universities, so you need to approach all the managers at the entrepreneurship centers by databases and create this rank around you. This is the way to build a success platform for the future before you execute. This is just who you are. This is building the rank. This is important. That's the first thing that when I'm talking with people in the startup ecosystem, I think that this is the first thing to do alone, without going out and trying to raise money and so on. What's an ecosystem? Who are the entities, the important entities, the figures in the ecosystem? Who they are? Entrepreneurs. Government. Okay. Universities. Investors. Good. Mentors. Good. Facilitators, like, let's drill down a little bit. Don't raise your hand, just customers for the startups. Okay, like beta site. Okay, good. Next.
Infrastructure.
What is infrastructure?
All kind of buildings, computers, components.
Okay. Now this is relevant for all to understand where we are living and how the matrix works. This is my experience, my opinion. This is not the business canvas model. This is not the lean startup. No bullshitting, reality from my experience, okay? Take what you can. There is the triple helix model. Some of you have heard about the triple helix model? Henry Itzkovitz? You read? Huh?
University, industry, and then power.
Okay, good. So I went to Astana, Kazakhstan, and I had a lecture. They said, Oren, let's talk a little bit about what you're doing. I met a nice guy there. His name is Henry Itzkovitz. I said, Henry, nice. I'm going to talk about the model at Tel Aviv University, what we're doing, what I built there the last 10 years, and so on. And I need to go back to what you did, because this is interesting as a model on the call to action. I put it aside. It reminds me. And I said, what are you doing? I'm coming from, I think it's Berkeley, I don't remember. And I'm going to talk about the triple helix. Now, before we talked, the guy, we were sitting like you guys on the crowd. We don't understand any Russian. Both of us, he's American and I'm Israeli. He was sleeping on my shoulder and he started dropping on my shoulder. And I was kind of doing with my knee like this. And he was like 70 years old guy, so I didn't feel comfort. So I said, okay, Oren. It's either he feels comfort and like, you feel wet, or grandpa wake up. So he woke up, it's nice to meet you, and so on. I'm coming from Berkeley, the triple helix model. I said, what's for you in the triple helix? No, this is a model that What happened is that something like 6 years ago, I had the Ivy League rectors visit They came to my office, Berkeley, Stanford, and I shared with them my experience as someone that built an ecosystem at Tel Aviv University, and I will connect the dots. So I'm coming from government, academia, private sector. I'm coming from the academia. This is actually the triple helix model. 1/3 of government, 1/3 of academia, 1/3 of private sector. This is, I would say, the recipe for a successful board in companies, for a successful decision-making process, to have 1/3 of each in a board. Okay, this is in general. At that time, I didn't know that Henry Itzkovich invented the triple helix model. So I was developing this as something that actually works well. Coming from an entrepreneurial ecosystem at Tel Aviv University, I know better than the private sector how to work with them, then they will know how to work with me. Because for them, it looks complicated to work with university, and they're right. Universities, we'll touch about the importance of each one of them in a minute. So I said, okay, this is a good model. And then I had a lecture to the Ivy League rector. He says, Oren, what you're doing, the gap, is actually the triple helix, 6 years ago. And then I read about the triple helix. I said, okay, this is very business-oriented. I wrote Henry an email at that time, and I forgot about it. I said, take the triple helix model, instead of business, do it in entrepreneurship. You know, some upgrade. And then we met in Astana, and we had a long talk. And once I saw that he is going to talk about it, I said, okay, no presentation, that's going to be a free talk. Since then, I started the free talks, which is much better. What is the rule in each one of them? Government, academia, and private sector. We started talking about it. Why do we need them in the ecosystem? GAP. What's the rule? This is why you're sitting here today. In order to take from each one of them the best in order to build an ecosystem. The ecosystem, the startup ecosystem, all those words. What the government, what the academia, and what the private sector can bring us today.
Government brings policy.
Policy? What's policy? Let's take it into reality.
It's based on startups, entrepreneurship, and then
Finally, what is it all about?
regulation.
Okay, regulation, for example, tax issues and so on, incentives. Okay, I'll take it. But let's take it into real life action, okay? 2, 3 main things. One, incentives. Okay, let's call it tax incentive, match funding, money. Okay? Developed countries, you'll be surprised. Israel is a developed ecosystem in terms of the startup. Israel is the highest spender on R&D till today. Though it's a leading ecosystem and so on, still today, the highest spender on R&D. Israel, South Korea, and the Scandinavian countries are the highest spenders on R&D per capita as part of the GDP. Yeah? Nominal number, of course, is China, but as part of the GDP per capita, Israel, South Korea, and the Scandinavian countries. It starts here with match funding, and there is a cycle for that. It starts with the seed level, even on the ideation side. Ideation, seed, I will add even the pre-seed, on the round A, on the round B, and there is a lot of support and bilateral agreements that the government run, not only in Israel, but connecting Israel, Israeli startup or Israeli companies. For example, there is a bilateral agreement with Turkey.
Yes.
How much money is there?
It's an industrial R&D agreement. And I don't know how much money.
But it exists. What am I actually saying is that funding comes from the government. The second thing that comes from the government is the government supposed to be beta site for startups. Okay? Just today, one of my interns, she worked for BlackRock. She's 38 years old, coming from Tokyo. BlackRock is one of the biggest private equities in the world. She came to study about startups. From private equity, buy side, sell side equity, startups. From millions to hundreds of thousands. Different approach. And then she says, Oren, I went to the bank today, I wanted dollars. The system doesn't work. The one that is actually making the change in between dollars and the Israeli currency is not there today. This is inefficient. I said, welcome to the startup nation. Why? because there is a big gap in between being a producer of startups and being the one that is actually adopt the startups. The government, the local government, needs to be the first client of the startups. They need to do their mistakes, their learning, the A/B testing on the local cities, municipalities, government, and this is something that you guys need to push. And it happens now in Israel and in many other countries. Government, they need to bring the funding, they need to be the beta sites, and the third thing, as you said, okay, is to structure everything, the consolidation, okay, to make sure that all the three are sitting around one table and talking, government, academia, private sector. This is the rule of the government, to make sure that those three sits together and talk. In many countries, you'll find out that they are not working together. Once you take a representative, for example, from the academia, the Office of the Chief Scientist, the National Authority of Innovation in Israel, and the private sector, they sit together, the best thing can happen. Now, true that in many countries, government does not see it right, okay? And then the people complain, yes, but our government, they don't see it and they don't invest and so on. So the private sector or the academia can push forward. All this process of entrepreneurship and all the buzzword about the success of startups and so on, it takes many years. Don't think that it's just a buzz. This is education. Entrepreneurship worth education. Entrepreneurship worth years of A/B testing. One of the most successful models that we have in Israel is a model that was a total failure at the first years. Our incubation model. All the companies almost didn't succeed, but A/B testing, you create entrepreneurs, people that are failed, because failing is part of the success. You create failure, people are becoming better entrepreneurs. This is the rule of the government sector. Private sector. What's the rule of the private sector? What do we need the private sector?
Investment.
Okay, so funding, like the government. The second thing?
Idea creation. Idea creation.
Idea creation. When I'm talking about the private sector, let's differentiate, okay? I'm talking mainly about MNCs, multinationals. I'm not talking about entrepreneurs. Okay? Let's put it aside.
Making profit, selling.
Of course, okay. But what's their support to the startup ecosystem?
Marketing.
Customers.
Customers in terms of?
Buying.
Okay, great. They need to be like the government beta sites, okay? It's faster beta site than here. Here it's a process, 6 months, 12 months. Here, it's supposed to take less. True that with multinational, it's a process as well, okay? Some of the times the multinational, they have more bureaucracy than government, but the idea is to be able, and they are looking for innovation today. I'm talking about Cisco, eBay, PayPal, I'm talking about Turkish Airlines, tons of companies that understand today, like IBM, they launched Watson. Are you familiar with Watson? Yeah. It's a $1 billion investment by IBM. It's a new department that IBM launched 3-4 years ago. Siemens dedicated last year $1 billion for innovation. It's small money comparing to their annual transaction, but it's a lot of money comparing to other business operations that they started many years, because they all understand that tomorrow they can be less relevant. They know the Nokia story, they know the Kodak story, and they don't want to be like that. So they have to be on top of the most innovative stars. Okay, but what is the problem? They say, we want you. Okay, you're an entrepreneur? They say, we want you. What's your name? Mustafa, we want to work with you. But the problem is, Mustafa, like my friend, Haluk, is that his pitch wasn't good. Mustafa needs to know how to prepare the material. He needs to understand, Mustafa, how to make sure that they will be able to adopt his need, that he will know how to pitch, like you pitched, okay? That it's clear for us that a good pitch is based on who I am, what do you know about me, what do I want you to know about me, numbers, examples, and so on, and then call to action. Easy. And then how do you serve it by email? How do you serve it by a pitch elevator? How do you create a contact by, hey, I know Shani knows Oren, maybe Oren knows someone in Cisco, in Apple, in Google. He can open a door. But you need to know how to create this chain. Okay? So coming back to the companies, they want the new talent. They are fighting to get this talent. But they can't put their energy and listening to you, and you, if they don't understand what you're talking about. So preparing the material is crucial, the right material. And to tell you the truth, this is a very conservative word because it's not more than a video of 1 minute about what you do. It's not more than a one-pager and a PPT of 10 slides. This is all the start of, I would say, the first step of innovation. And you know, we say the beginning is more than 50% of the way. Okay, that's a big say in entrepreneurship. If you have this small material, you're almost there. If there is an interest, someone will open the door for you. But to tell you the truth, if you're going to send a long email, like my German friends, a long email that has too much information, they will say, not relevant. I can't read this email. They will put you on the unread mailbox and will answer you one time. So you want to be on the same platform that they are used to get. Private companies are looking for you. Each one of them today has the corporate VC structure, which is Intel, for example, they have Intel Capital, and Intel, they have their acceleration program now. Okay? Same with Google. They have Google Capital, and they have their Launchpad. Most of the innovative company or wannabe innovative company, they have structure that is more focused on venture capital side of the, I would say, 1, 2, 3 million plus. And for the early stage, this is the competition. Just make sure that you speak the right language. If you don't speak the right language, go out and take from someone his advice. And as we say, when you build trust, you ask for people, you tell them, I'm not relevant for investment now, but I just want to get your tip. So this is the process of you come to get advice, you get money, because you build trust, and then they see and they analyze if you are actually advancing along the way. And then when they see that you are advanced, they will be able and they actually would like to work with you. Since 2008, after the crisis, unemployment under the age of 30, 35 is getting higher, okay? One of the challenges and the motivation for entrepreneurship in the world is unemployment. The second thing is because people are jealous. I am jealous around my forest of entrepreneurs. 7 years, I did non-profit establishing the Entrepreneurship Center at Tel Aviv University. 7 years. You know how many unicorns were around me? People that came as students with flip-flops, they were waiters, and they became millionaires. And I was their angel. I connected them to investors, I educated them, and then I went on with my Suzuki 2002. Okay? My wife's car. Okay. That's the reality. And then I said, sorry, fuck it. Why? Why? If they can do it, I can do it. The only things that matter that I can touch you. Okay? I can touch Mustafa. Mustafa had an exit. If Mustafa will have an exit, most of you around Mustafa will look at him like he's a shark. Mustafa did it. If Mustafa did it, I can do it. Tel Aviv University, for example, know how it works. So just to finish this story, because it's between stories and to stay focused, motivation for entrepreneurship, unemployment, people that are jealous, they can see that it's possible. And the third thing is the competition in between the corporates. They are looking for innovation. Just serve them this innovation the way, Haluk, you need to do, not the way you did. I'm taking you and I'm killing you now, but this is the message for you and for others. If you get an opportunity, you have to kill. If you get an opportunity, you have to have a call to action, because you're not coming just to show off. Many of the entrepreneurs, in terms of the Israeli ecosystem, there is a competition. When I started, something like 9-10 years ago, how many startup ecosystem in Israel? Mine, and maybe 2-3 others. Today, I have a WhatsApp group that I created something like 8 months ago. There are 207 startup communities in Israel. Crazy. I'm talking about an 8 million people country. Turkey is 80 million, so let's assume that here there were 2,000 startup communities in Turkey. crazy number. Each one of them is doing what? Is doing schmoozing to the crowd. Come to us, come to us, come to us. And then entrepreneurs, they have 3 months Microsoft, 3 months IBM, 3 months Tel Aviv University. And this is the new unemployed. He runs in between accelerator programs for 2 years. His mom thinks that he's going to be the next Mustafa, but finally he's unemployed, okay? That's the process. Closing debt. That's the side of the private sector. It is supposed to allow us to have our ability to approach them and have our pilots. The best accelerators today are the accelerators that come to you, they see the team, they a little bit improve your soft skills, pitching, so on. They take a good product. If your product is not good, go outside, work on your product. They a little bit improve the UI, UX, and then they tell you, go out, meet your clients. If you are coming from the transportation industry, go meet Audi, go meet Porsche Consulting, go meet all the OEMs. Tell us if your product fits the market, if there is a need. Go meet the market. And one of the things that many acceleration programs are doing are come to us, sit. You have to come every day. This is not work. Go out, meet the market. Come and give us what the market needs. We want you to go out. We don't want you close to us. So the idea of working with them is you, entrepreneurs, going out, or your managers of the startup ecosystem here supposed to create partnerships with leading corporates that will allow you to meet them face to face and to cut this process, that you're not going to send just an email for, I don't know, the Minister of Energy, but you will have a contact that will ease your way and time. We shortcut your time. So very important on that side that the private sector will adopt new startups and will open the door for them. Academia. For many years, people used to focus on the tech transfer office. How many of you are involved in the university on commercialization and tech transfer? Which university? Okay. And you have your own TTO, or it's?
No, it's a university TTO.
It's a university TTO, but it serves only the university or other universities?
Universities. There are some collaboration with universities, but mainly for the university.
How many faculty members, researchers at the university?
2,500.
Okay.
Around.
How many students?
Too much.
That's not good.
70,000.
Oof, that's too much. How many, what's the network, alumni and so on, the graduates of university? Here in Turkey, in the diaspora outside, how many people studied at the university?
How many?
Along the years?
I don't know.
Throw a number.
500.
Let's make it 2, because it's not too much. Okay. You know what's tech transfer office? A tech transfer office is supposed to, how many of you are using the stick memory? This? Everybody, okay. This was one of the inventions of Tel Aviv University, stick memory. Now, this invention actually goes with us to all our mobiles, computers. You all use it, yeah? This was invented at Tel Aviv University. The royalties goes to the tech transfer office at Tel Aviv University. Nice. How many like this? You can count them on 2 ends along the years. Yes, one there is a good deal, like Copaxone and pharmaceutical. It's a big money. But it's this, okay, against this. You have 2,500 faculty members that maybe they can produce something, some innovation like the flash memory, maybe. Or on the other side, you have 70,000 students and 200,000 people that graduated from the university. Usually universities, researchers, are coming to the tech transfer office. This office is supposed to take the research and commercialize it, create technology from it. As I said, in our case, and there are amazing, really, technologies to become, but this is basic research, it's important. till we see it coming to the market, it takes time. What I'm saying is continue focus on building commercialization process to make more flash memories. This is good. But try to do something here. Okay? And this is neglected. What do I mean by neglected? Is that many of the higher education, universities and so on, institutes, are not paying attention to Mustafa and Khaluk that actually study here, and we can do something with them. We can build structure for them. Now, yes, we have an entrepreneurship center because it's nice to have in many universities, and it's like a V today. But create real value. Why? How many of the Israeli startups, successful one, how many of their founders studied at Tel Aviv University? Throw in percentage. 20%. 50%. 50% of the Israeli successful entrepreneurs studied at Tel Aviv University.
And me.
And me. You are actually taking the percentage to the downside.
Yeah, I know.
So, what do we do with this number? This is amazing talent, yes, that is not affiliated with the university at all. At all. They didn't get, beside basic education, they studied there. Okay, bye. Same with those. Last year, there were 252 startups, raised $1.7 billion of TAU graduates worldwide. There is a rank by PitchBook. PitchBook is the Bible of university, I would say, research and know-how about how the universities are becoming more entrepreneurial. Number 10 is Yale. Number 1 is, of course, Berkeley, Stanford, the known one. The only non-US university, TAU. Still, what do I get from this? They did nice, very good outside, but as a university, what's in it for me? What's in it for me in terms of how they are supporting my economy as a university and how they are supporting my network today, my students today? They are doing it? No. They started doing it when I established the Entrepreneurship Center at the university. It started moving. So what I'm saying is focus on the talent and make sure that the university is going to commercialize basic research, which is good, okay? But we'll focus on the talent. Create programs for the talent. Now, this is the world, this is entrepreneurship today, okay? This is entrepreneurship ecosystems. You find here Silicon Valley, Tel Aviv, Berlin, Boston, New York, leading, okay? You find here many other ecosystems like Mosque, Paris, and so on that are growing. Cross-platform, all the ecosystems are rising today. All of them. More hubs, more accelerators, and so on. All of them are rising in terms of they invest more money, they create more programs, and so on. What is the challenge? Is the challenge that some of them would like to be a leading ecosystem, and it's not relevant anymore. There isn't a leading ecosystem. There are leading verticals. And when I say government, academia, and private sector, and I analyze it, government needs to bring on funding to be beta site and to consolidate. Academia needs to continue with basic research to create more commercialization and to help the talent. And the private sector needs to invest money and be beta site. But this is basic for all the ecosystem worldwide. Government, academia, and private sector involvement, okay? What is unique is the plus. What is the plus? The plus is the ability to understand what exists in this ecosystem that we can build on top of it, okay? Now, along the years, we see development of the fintech ecosystem, okay? Development of cyber, development of, help me, agri-tech, IoT, development of space, bio, okay? This is, when we look at it in terms of development of niche-specific areas in the technology, Now it's running into macro level verticals by topics. Sport, construction. What else? Travel and tourism. Mobile? No. Mobile is, this is the third generation, this is the second, mobile is the first generation. When we say the development of web and mobile, then the development of, now here, beneath cyber you have SCADA, okay? And beneath fintech you have blockchain. Now you find out that there was the development, okay? If we go and analyze, I will start by what you've said. So what happened after this crisis in 2008? Okay, I said the motivation is unemployment, there is a competition, and there are people that are jealous, yeah? This actually creates a boost in the entrepreneurial vibe and ecosystem. What's the second thing? Is the development, the technology development of the internet. Internet allowed us to create platforms for what? Online payment. So on one side you have crisis, on the other side you have the development of the internet and online payment, and this together creates what? A bubble of we economy. We economy that says that some of you used to work for a bank or still work for a bank. Good. So imagine that you used to work for a bank, okay, and I came to you and said, please, I need a loan of $100,000. No, but you lost your job, there is a big crisis, and you are a lousy student, and I'm sure that you're not going to get any job anymore, Oren. That's true, I'm a lousy student. But, Oren, I have some alternative for you. You can go to a peer-to-peer loan. There is a new platform, okay, and you can share your idea, and maybe they will support you. The we economy. This is what Uber based on, okay, Airbnb, Indiegogo, and all those platforms that they allow you actually based on that to create new economies. So this is, I would say, the kickstart of the ecosystem. The web and mobile developed 2008 allowed us to create new economy. And this is today, for example, cyber and fintech development. How do we actually make sure that we manage with this development of economy? Because if I created a peer-to-peer loan platform that I can borrow from you and from thousands of people, fraud, tons of fraud here. Big data, as we see, okay? That's going to not such a friendly hands. So this is a must on the development. Now, the development of sport, construction, and travel goes into real time because these are old industries. Old industries that today, if you think about, for example, construction companies, how innovative they are. How many people die every year in construction sites? How many of them use smart wearable devices like you use? There was a parking lot, true story, a year ago in Tel Aviv. Big construction company in Israel, they built a parking lot and it collapsed. And for something like 5 days, they were looking for 3 people that died. But they were looking where they are. It was big thing in the news. Why? Because it was in Tel Aviv. If it was in some other area, no one give a damn. Okay? But Tel Aviv, people can go to work. It's in the middle of one of the fancy areas. So people actually felt, and this is shocking. But that's reality, because construction is old-fashioned. One of the most sexy verticals in the world, broadcast more than any other thing, okay? Touch so many people. That's the most common small talk in the world, sport. Where do we see actually sport and technology? Baseball, football a little bit, goal line technology, some of the basketball. Now it's becoming a hot topic that actually takes those verticals, cyber, fintech, and so on, and take them here. If we analyze sport, for example, sport is what? Smart stadiums. What is the biggest threats with stadiums today? UEFA just announced today there aren't any warrants on terror attack on the final, Champions final. So this is cyber, goes to sports, smart stadiums. But it goes also for medical, for sports. medical device, and goes also for gaming and gambling. Okay? So those are the verticals that are the evolution of, as I analyzed before. And there you need, as an ecosystem, to say, okay, we have big construction companies. Let's do innovation there, because we have some unique selling value. We have big travel companies. How many tourists come to Turkey every year? Let's do pilot with those companies. Let's use what we have. Chile, they used to have mining. So the mining companies, they were focusing at the beginning, before this industry collapsed, on developing innovation in the mining industry. Take a look around you and try to think where we have assets, where we have value, and through that, talking about travel, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, aviation company in the world today, Turkish Airlines. How many innovation in universities that is supported by government with Turkish Airlines? Not sure. Maybe. I'm sure that if I will ask them, they will say we have. Okay? But comparing to their size, comparing to their value, comparing to the potential, I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. Think about it. Sport. Sport is going great in Turkey. Fener just won. Okay? Basketball. There is a company called WSC Sport. They got an investment from the owner of Cleveland Cavalier. They started as a startup company, got their first investment from my friend's fund, $700,000. They went right and left and right and left and right and left, and boom, finally they found the right pilot with Cleveland Cavalier, and they got an investment. And now all the NBA teams are using their technology, and once you're there, that's it, you are there. Okay? Same with Replay, that was acquired by Intel before they acquired Mobileye. Sport is rising, okay? But it's rising in verticals. Same like travel, same like construction.
Right now, this doesn't fit the Turkish funding system from the government. Government only gives funding to the second generation. If you have something in the third generation, there is no funding.
True, but you know how many successful Lithuanian entrepreneurs exist? There are many. And how many Finnish and how many Israelis before Israel was active in. I can agree with you, if the government supports or does not support, it doesn't matter, because you can use funds that come in from the EU. You can use acceleration programs that are not based here. You can go to the Silicon Valley and apply there. You can go to Tel Aviv and apply there. You can go to Berlin and apply there. If you're entrepreneurs and you're motivated, you just need the right contacts. And once the diaspora is strong, what do I mean by diaspora? Once there are 30 very good, successful entrepreneurs, and today I can tell you the truth, there are hundreds, but they are not under one roof. They are here and there, traveling. No one really branded a name, kind of a house for them, and said the Turkish Entrepreneurs Association, and they would like to partner there. And they have value because they understand that the next generation of the Turkish entrepreneurs, like Haluk, is there and they can meet him. And they would like to invest more in Turkish entrepreneurs than in Israeli entrepreneurs, because this is the affiliation. First of all, people that with the language is easier. So true, and to tell you the truth, we also have tons of complaints on the Israeli government, though they are doing very good. But that's the process. What you have is what you have. And what you have is, and what you don't have is actually what you have. Because I can complain and say, your industry in Turkey is much more better than in Israel. I'm a small market, 8 million people, yeah? I'm expensive market, okay? I don't have really basic industry. I need to take always flights, because Israel is isolated. Flights 3 hours there, 15 hours there, always takes time, a lot of money. I can complain. Instead of that, I'm saying, I'm a small market, so I don't care about this market. This is an advantage. Small market, okay, from day one, act local, engineers in Israel, but marketing, I'm going to the US. So from day one, I'm like a US startup. But engineers, I have my own network of engineers, good one in Israel, so I have maybe a technology advantage. Okay? This is my advantage, the engineering. I have lousy market, small market, not a relevant market. And this is a challenge for Germany, which are 82, For Turkey, which are how many people? 80? 80 million. For Italy, that are approximately 50 million. French, approximately 60 million. That's the same challenge with medium-sized market. Entrepreneurs in Spain, 4 years ago, and I've been there many times in Barcelona and in Madrid, they used to develop Spanish. They know English, okay, they used to pitch only in Spanish because they were afraid, they didn't have the soft skills, they didn't have the mindset of going outside of Spain. Today, there are amazing entrepreneurs in Spain. Capital is growing, entrepreneurship is getting better, but it takes more than 6-7 years. And to tell you that they are at the top level, no, but they're on the way there. They took advantage of what happens in Catalonia every year. The biggest mobile world, yeah? Have you been to? So the municipality in Barcelona, they said, we have the Mobile World Congress, okay? Let's have parallel event that is ours, not belongs to the GSMA, to the Americans, that comes to us as a tourist place. Let's have our event 4 years from now that is parallel to the Mobile World Congress to support our ecosystem. And they took advantage of something that exists in their market and started building their own brand. So what I'm saying is, don't focus local. Focus local only in terms of building the engineering stuff. Go global. This is a challenge. Now I can cry and say this is a challenge, but this is finally an advantage. You can cry and say I don't have any support from the Turkish government. This is a challenge, but could be an advantage. Why? Because you go out and you see what exists. And then I'm sure that you can find amazing engineers here that will cost half price than the engineers in the Silicon Valley. And then you have an advantage because your run rate is half price. You can take everything that is a disadvantage to make a big advantage for you. It's a process to work with the government. The best way to do it is to create a lobby and to show them that other places, they do the same. You don't need to create, everything from scratch. You just show them what happened in Finland, in Germany, in Israel, in the US. You say, let's take some of it, not everything. Because, we are talking about big budgets that goes from education. And you know how it works, the political system. No one wants to invest in education. They want to show nice gardens. Okay, always in Israel we complain about the mayors of the cities. They have only nice gardens. What about education? Because gardens you see today, education, like entrepreneurship, you see in 5 years. So I agree, but it takes time. If you put the right press, it will happen. But meanwhile, entrepreneurs, you can create contacts through many entrepreneurship centers and send them abroad. Or create partnerships. Okay, you want to take a break? You want to continue on fundraising? Break? Okay. So let's take like 8-minute break and then we will continue about fundraising tools, okay? Yalla.